Alright, it is Saturday, traditional finance is closed, and the story is pretty much the same when it does come to Bitcoin. So today will be a little bit of a shorter video, just continuing to cover the price action that we are getting on the charts right now, and we do still have some interesting stuff playing out, so I think it's worth a watch. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Starting off at the daily time frame, we can see we are continuing to make those higher highs on our RSI, lower highs on the daily closes. What do I mean by that? Well, if we take a trend here from the range high at 72k to current price, you can see that is clear lower high. Whereas when looking at the RSI, the relative strength index, we are starting to make higher highs, showing a hidden daily bearish divergence. So make sure to keep our eyes on this. There is the small chance it does signal more of a macro bearish move from here, just because of the time frame that this divergence is on and the fact that hidden divs play out more than regular divs. But as we talked about in last video, the liquidity is still sitting up at all-time highs, and just given where we are potentially in the cycle, given what we had done in this range with deviating to the downside, our next target is absolutely all-time highs. This remains my base case no matter what. I think we're going to get up there, and then after we get up there, that's where we need to be worried. Is this going to be a swing failure, or are we going to be able to backtest this into support and go on to six figures? But even though I think it's a guarantee to get up there, it's certainly not a guarantee. There is the chance we could roll over here because we did sweep the liquidity, right? This is one of my big sweep levels I've had in the chart. From back here on June 14th, we made a couple poor highs. We built liquidity up there, was expecting to grab this. And after grabbing this on a 1 hour bearish divergence, regular bear div, lower highs on RSI, higher highs on price, we have gotten a substantial pullback here on the weekend. And the big question is, of course, where is this correction going to end up? Well, let's go ahead and look at our levels on the chart right now. So we have this macro support resistance flip at 64.5, that volume level. We haven't quite back tested that into support, so that is going to be a huge level for me, right? That could be a potential long setup. We also have the liquidity behind all of these lows within here. We had talked about wanting to get that sweep structure there for a potential long setup, so that's still in play. CME gap still technically in play as well, right? But once again, with the bullish momentum, how Bitcoin normally acts when it does start getting impulsive like this, I think there's a good chance maybe we just sweep the liquidity here, right? Quick wick down and then a continuation up higher, or maybe we just send to the moon right now. I will say closing price within this area makes a lot of sense. We were talking about CME gaps. We look at where CME closed. It closed at 67,300. So I would expect, the weekend range to kind of just stay around 67,300. We don't really want to be deviating outside of that too much. If we did, not the end of the world. We will just come back to test that most likely going into next week. Well, as I've talked about, CME gaps don't have to fill. To have two of them in a row that don't fill, that's just not probable. So you got that to think about. But let's jump out of trading view, go over to trading light, look at some levels over there, and we do see the sweep of liquidity did play out here pretty perfectly. I had said, since it didn't sweep on Binance USDT pair, this was going to get swept before an actual bearish correction could play out. We got that sweep of liquidity. We got a failed auction up here. You can see buyers at the top of the wick FOMOing in and getting completely absorbed, showing that the price was not able to auction off and accept at that level, indicating that price was likely to reject and not accept back above there until a correction had played out to test lower prices. And we absolutely do see that playing out on the charts. We have some big sell imbalances, right? So if we do come back up into these, that would be a telltale sign if we are bullish or not. Are we going to be able to reclaim these sell imbalances, or are we going to reject off of these sell imbalances? And for all of you traders out there, what could we have seen in this area to actually take a short? Well, we see price come up to the sweep level but not take it. So as we talked about in the last video, identified this as a level that they are potentially going to grab, and if they are to grab it on a swing failure pattern, that's a potential short opportunity. We see candle closes below the wick on the 30-minute time frame. From this point, you could go ahead, go to your 1-minute time frame, and you would be pulling fibs swing high, swing low, and looking to enter in on that golden pocket. So you'd take it from here to here, after seeing that failed auction. That's also a great confluence you would want to use. And essentially what you do is you go ahead and take a short from your 786 to 618, probably even the sweep level as well. I kind of like taking it from that because that's a big point of resistance as well. You'd be filling your short orders up here, and you even had a second chance to get into this because it came up to test this sweep level later on. So if you want it to be more safe, because what we did see in here was price was trending up, shorts were being opened. So this showed that shorts were actually on the wrong side of the market. Price goes up, open interest goes up, CVD is going down, showing that shorts are opening, prices not going with the shorts. Probably want to wait for price to change structure before shorting, and that's exactly what we do see play out after this pullback here, a lower low on price. Now you're looking for lower highs. We see that structural change in the charts right up to the sweep level. That would be your indication to take a short now that you have confirmation of a lower low and that these shorts were actually on the right side of the market. So that's some noteworthy stuff there. I didn't take the position though just because it is the weekend. My protocol is I don't trade on the weekends, although if I do see setups start playing out more often like today, then I might change that. I might actually start trading on a Saturday or something. I know the last 2 weekends have been pretty volatile. Normally there is no volatility, and then on Monday or Tuesday is when it actually sweeps the range, and that's why I don't like trading on the weekends, because you're usually just trading in the middle of a range. But yeah, we definitely did have a clear short setup today with those regular 1 hour bearish divergences, the failed auction, the sweep level, a lot of good confluences for you there. And once again, for this correction, where's it going to end off? Well, we have this sweep of liquidity with those single prints in the chart that we did not grab previously. So this is going to be a big level to watch, maybe a full fill on those single prints before a continuation upwards. But once again, it is the weekend. Price is going to be pretty unpredictable right now. I would not put it past Bitcoin to just have a continuation up higher, and then maybe going into Monday we have a quick wick down to grab the CME and then continue on up. There's just so many different possibilities that could play out here now that we are kind of in the middle of a range, but certainly we do have those identified levels to the downside within here with those imbalances. We got some more single prints down here, a big liquidity zone. These are kind of your bigger levels to the downside, and then to the upside, if we were to get above where CME is, then going into Monday, that CME gap is going to turn into support, and you'd be looking for resistance on a potential sweep of a sweep, basically wherever we do get a failed auction, because this zone is very low volume. There's not a ton of liquidity within this either, so really the 68 to 70k level could potentially fill very quickly, and getting up here, you're going to start really trying to magnet up to all-time highs. So yeah, I do think still very confirmed at this point we're going to all-time highs, and this stuff should start filling extremely fast. And I do think Bitcoin is going to continue to be a honey badger, but once again, I don't think it's the time to just FOMO in long. If you are thinking about putting in leveraged orders and you are bullish, just wait for Monday, wait for the CME gap to appear. Maybe you could long that, wait for the sweep of liquidity to the downside. There are definitely some interesting levels for that. I just don't think we're there quite yet. But if you do have any questions about anything I talked about, or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. Also down there you will find my VIP Discord, the Crypto Eagles VIP, where you can get a lot more information specifically on leveraged trading, as well as I'm running a special right now for 50% off through the rest of this month for the first 3 months, so it's only $20 a month. Click that link if you are interested at all, and you can read a whole lot more about what it does offer. And then also below that there are links to a BingX limited time event that I'm running right now with my exchange partner. If you do want an awesome non-KYC spot or leveraged exchange to go ahead and trade on, I do recommend them, and there's some links for some limited time rewards such as deposit bonuses, etc., up to $7,300. So definitely go check that out. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.